if you want more from your lender. An equal housing lender and equal opportunity provider.
8:27 on kind of a frosty morning in Dane County on this Wednesday, December 11th. Having a little bit of light snow. They made its way down to make it so pretty outside and stuff. But a little bit cool out there. So do dress appropriately. We're in the mid-20s and with a little bit of a wind, about 21 or 2 with a wind chill. And our skies are starting to clear up a little bit after having some clouds this morning. But we do have a special guest in. Patty, is it McEwen or
yes.
McCown? Okay, McEwen. Okay, I thought it was.
Perfect.
And I thought that's what you had said the first time. And I thought, maybe I said it wrong when I first was introduced to you. However, Patty's here. Patty has been doing very yeoman's work in the Sleep in Heavenly Peace arena. And this is something that many of our listeners, I'm sure, Patty, are unaware of because this is a relatively new organization in our area. It's been around for a while, but new in our area. You came from the Rolla chapter to start a Dane County chapter, which became official in October. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I would like for you to kind of give a little bit of background. What is Sleep in Heavenly Peace?
Sure. Well, first of all, Stan, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. I really appreciate any opportunity we have to spread the word of what Sleep in Heavenly Peace is all about. So Sleep in Heavenly Peace is a 501c3 nonprofit that builds, assembles, and delivers beds to children in need who do not have a bed in our community. So we have just recently, as Stan mentioned, established our chapter here in Dane County, and we're very, very excited to have that. The mission of Sleep in Heavenly Peace is to eliminate what they call child bedlessness. And it is estimated that 3% of the population of the children in need do not have a bed.
Wow.
And so the whole goal here is to get the kids off the floor and into a brand new bed, which is, and I know we'll talk more about that, but that's what we do.
There's really, and it's been proven how important, number one, a good night's sleep is. How is a child supposed to become a very, very functional adult by having to sleep on the floor or sleep in a compromising situation, whether it be, like I said, all curled up in a little corner with maybe a sack of old potato sack on top, an old blanket, maybe some old dirty clothes, whatever they can to try and keep warm instead of getting a nice, comfortable sleep. First, and I want to compliment you guys on the beds you build. They are solid, and they do provide that safety for these children. Not only sleep in a very good bed, but also protect them. Let them get that good night's sleep. They're not going to roll out of bed. The bed's not going to fall apart, not going to cave in on them. They're going to be comfortable, and they can finally relax and get that good rest that they need.
Right. Absolutely. Sleep in Heavenly Peace is very structured and very careful in making sure that all of these beds are built to one specification.
Okay.
There are over 400 chapters of Sleep in Heavenly Peace in the U.S., and they've now gone into 4 other countries.
Wow.
We have 18 chapters here in Missouri, and our Dent County chapter is number 18. We are the most recent, which we're very excited about. And those beds everywhere are built to the exact same specifications, no matter what location you're in.
And I'll tell you, if you don't understand what we're talking about in making these beds for children, you can go to the Trees and Trains exhibit, and you actually have a bed there.
Absolutely.
And it's and people can see the quality workmanship that goes into it and find out just for themselves a little bit about Sleep in Heavenly Peace just from that display. We really want you to see that. We're going to talk about that in a little bit because that's a great display over there at Trees and Trains. And again, thank you for doing that. But to try and get the word out, though, it's a little bit hard. This is a fairly new organization. 2012 is when it got started?
Exactly. So Sleep in Heavenly Peace was started in 2012 in a garage in Twin Falls, Idaho. There was a gentleman named Luke Mickelson who built a bunk bed, and then he had extra lumber, and he put a notice out on Facebook. and said, does anyone else need a bed? I'd be happy to build it for you and donate it. And he was overwhelmed with the response. So this is in 2012. Several years later, and this video is actually on the Sleep in Heavenly Peace website, so anyone has a few minutes to look at it. There's a video from Mike Rowe that's called Returning the Favor. And at that point, once people
Mike Rowe of
saw
Dirty
this,
Jobs.
yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes,
So people don't not Mike Rowe of Salem, but Mike Rowe of Dirty Jobs.
yes,
on,
exactly.
yeah.
So Mike Rowe recognized Luke Mickelson and all the work that he had done for Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and the whole story is about giving back from the community. And they provided him for 5 years a beautiful building to build these beds in. And so the video, every time I watch the video, I want to cry because it's just an incredible story. But Luke Mickelson is still involved in Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
Well, that's great.
He is not only the founder, but he is currently the head of development, and he is hands-on every day. I've had emails that he's been copied on. It's amazing. It's a large organization, but at the same time, it's a small organization in that you get to know everybody.
And you know, we went through the COVID, obviously,
Yeah.
pandemic during this time, so which probably slowed things down a little bit, but also may have brought out more of the need
Yes.
of beds for children because of COVID.
Yes, and that's really one of our biggest challenges, Stan, is getting the word out. I had never heard of Sleep in Heavenly Peace until about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And in the Missouri Inter-County Magazine,
The Rural Missouri Magazine.
Yep. There was an article, I believe it was March of 2023. It was a 4-page article, and I read it and I said, this is the neatest thing I've ever heard of. So I called up the president of the Rolla chapter, which at that time was the closest to us, and said, how do I get involved? And that's how I got involved, because there was no chapter here. So Rolla actually covers 6 different counties. They have a huge geographical area.
So they're more regional right now. They're because of all
Absolutely.
these different counties. And they used to
Yeah.
cover Dent County.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were part of that. And as I got more involved in the Rolla chapter, I said, there's a huge need in Dent County. I would love to see if I can start a chapter and help people there and spread the word and really just focus on the need that's there. So that's how we got to where we are.
Well, very good. And I remember you coming in, and when you first got started, you went around and talked to Chamber, Community Center, the Armory, different people, and came down here, and we were proud to, you came in and talked about something I had never heard of, and that doesn't happen very often, where I never heard something. And I had not read that article in Rural Missouri, though I usually do. I don't read it cover to cover, but I usually scan it pretty well. I just did not come across that article or didn't get a chance to read it. And I was really impressed by what you had to tell us. And I thought, how come I've never heard of this?
Yeah.
I just had never heard of it. I think it's an incredible idea. It's really, really impressive. And you guys do meet. You get volunteers. You got a lot of great help here locally.
Yes.
But you have a meeting at least once a month, right,
Yes.
on a Monday. And is that still the first Monday of the month?
Yes, it's usually the first Monday. So our next meeting is going to be on January 6th
Okay.
at the Armory at 5:30. And that's, where we've had our meetings. We want to say thank you to the Armory for letting us have our meetings there. But yes, we are all volunteers, and Sleep in Heavenly Peace runs totally on donations.
Healthy Dane County is the one that's really doing that work for you, because that's part of what they're doing. They have a prevention coalition down there, and they not only want to keep people, away from drugs and alcohol and things of that nature, but also they want to protect our young. And in doing so, Sleep in Heavenly Peace falls right into what they're trying to get accomplished. So, that was a nice match. She was the right place there to get
Yes.
that with Healthy Dane County. So that's great. Now, we're talking about building beds for kids to get them off the ground, get them a good night's sleep, give them that solid base to start the day with. So many people forget about that. But people are going to say, okay, so how do they know where these kids are? Where do they get this information and stuff? So how would somebody, obviously not everybody knows what children are sleeping on the ground or
Right.
what, in locations. How would somebody first off request a bed if they know of somebody that needs one?
Absolutely. So the process is very simple, and anyone can request a bed on behalf of a child. It's children ages 3 to 17. It does not have to be a family member. It could be someone from healthcare, law enforcement. It could be the next door neighbor. It could be a friend, anyone. And all you do is go on the Sleep in Heavenly Peace website, which is shpbeds.org. And at the top of the page, there's a little button that says apply for a bed. And you fill out the information for that, and then from there we take it. So that application is routed by zip code, and that's how we get them for Dent County. Then we have a vetting process. So we call the person that asked for the bed and make sure that there's no misunderstanding, that they understand that this is for a child in need who does not have a bed. So once we have that conversation, we move forward, and from there we schedule the delivery. And the deliveries, I have to tell you, every one of those is so special, and the kids are amazing. They're so excited to have it. So when we go to the home, we put together the bed, we assemble it, and then each child gets not only the new bed frame, either a twin or a bunk, but they get a brand new mattress, they get sheets, a pillow, and either a quilt or a blanket. One of our team members is Terry Welch, who owns Quilter's Journey. We actually have people, that group as well as others in the community, who are actually making us brand new homemade quilts for these children. Everything they receive is new, and they are just tickled pink.
And no cost to the family.
At no cost. This is a free bed.
Yeah, it's a free bed. So you mentioned it's determined by zip code. Is that how you found out about the need in Dent County and realized there's a lot of people in our area that actually need my services and I need to go over there and address this personally?
Absolutely. And we need everyone's help to spread the word that this is available to the children in our community. We have had, and I'm hoping Stan will talk about this in a minute, we've had 2 bed builds so far. These are community bed builds, and the community has worked with us to learn how and build these beds. So far we've built 40 beds, and over half of them are already spoken for. We've delivered most. We've just had another order yesterday, and so it's really amazing in being able to help our community. But again, it's Sleep in Heavenly Peace. A lot of people don't know what it is, and so we'd like to ask everybody to help us spread the word.
All right, so you mentioned community support. Obviously, bed builds, that's a great way to get community support and have people come out and actually not only hear about what Sleep in Heavenly Peace is, if you're not familiar, but also get the hands on and become a part of this great contribution to a youngster who possibly may never have gotten to bed. Who knows? You know, you just don't know what the situations are, or maybe they're just falling on hard times. Maybe they outgrew their bed. Maybe there's too many people in the bed.
Yes.
You know, they just need an extra bed. So obviously bed builds are a great thing, but also you mentioned it all is based upon donations. There needs to be financial support. Wood is not cheap. It's not free. Mattresses are not cheap. They're not free, and neither are pillows. So you really do need that financial help from people. You are 501c3. It's a tax-deductible donation.
Correct.
How do they make a donation to Sleep in Heavenly Peace?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do it. So monetary donations are always welcome. We estimate that each bed, including all of the linens and everything, is $250. So that's the lumber, the mattress, all of the bedding for that. And checks made out to Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And please designate Dent County so that we make sure that the funds come back to our community.
Because you are 501c3, for people who do not understand not-for-profit accounting, those monies, if you put Dent County, are then encumbered to Dent County, the Dent County unit only. It can't go to anywhere else unless obviously that the Dent County unit would become null and void somewhere down the road. But until that time, if you write the check and say Dent County, those funds don't go to any other Sleep in Heavenly Peace. They come to the Dent County unit.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I want to make that clear. Some people just don't understand that. They think, well, like the city has $5 million in their electric fund. Well, it has to be in the electric fund. It can't go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that people do understand that, and that's how not-for-profit accounting works. Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but some people just don't say, well, if I just give my money to Sleep in Heavenly Peace, it should be good.
Right.
No, it can go anywhere in that case.
Yes. Key point. Also, Riverways, who has been very, very involved from early days of our trying to get a chapter going, they are accepting donations by check. If you want to drop off, cash, they'll put it into a cashier's check for you so that they can mail it off for us. And they're also accepting other donations, and I know we'll get to this, of bedding as well as tools. So Riverways here in Salem as well as in Rolla. Both of them are accepting donations from the community.
And you're talking Riverways Federal Credit Union.
Exactly.
Okay, we have a lot of Riverways.
Riverways Federal Credit Union,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, so we don't want to get anybody confused.
Yep.
There are a lot of different names of businesses that include Riverways, but it's Riverways Federal Credit Union. Very good. So they're helping out, and that's a fantastic way. So you have a local financial institution that's assisting you in this, and which is great. Or you can just send a check, and is there an address on the website that people
Yes.
can send it to? Okay, very good. All right, so you guys have also partnered with the high school. Can you tell us how that partnership came about?
Absolutely. So this is Salem High School, and last school year, the school board here in Salem approved a partnership with Sleep in Heavenly Peace and Salem High School, the construction trades group, led by A.J. Tinker. So early this year, I believe it was way back in January, we met with Jody Haven and A.J. Tinker to start planning this out. And what the school board approved was for 1 week in the fall semester and 1 week in the spring semester that the construction trades group would learn how to build beds, and they would build beds for Sleep in Heavenly Peace for our community here in Dent County. So that partnership, we worked very closely to set it up, and of course the school was phenomenal, and A.J. Tinker. So we had the first week of that recently this fall, and I cannot tell you how exciting it was. So we expected A.J. to have a class of about 30 students to help. The ag group joined, and we
an agriculture
the
department.
agriculture construction group, we had 130 students who participated in building these beds. And AJ had set aside 1 week to do these beds. The kids were so enthusiastic and so excited, they actually built the beds in 1 day, on the Monday of that week. So it was just phenomenal. And so we have another week coming up that'll be in the spring. In addition to that, AJ is going to, Sleep in Heavenly Peace requires that each chapter have training to make sure that they understand and they know how to build those beds exactly to the specification. AJ Tinker is going to join our core team and become a Sleep in Heavenly Peace build manager. And he has offered that the high school, should we need extra beds, so say we need 5 beds, he will have a setup in his new building specifically for Sleep in Heavenly Peace and the workflow that is required. So I can call AJ and say, hey, AJ, I need 5 beds next week, and the kids will build them for us. And it is just phenomenal what the high school has done in this partnership, and we're so grateful.
But that's what it takes: community support, community involvement, and everybody getting a piece to share. You know, it never hurts anybody to go help anyone else. That's what this time of the season's all about: helping your neighbor, helping your friends, showing love to your community. And this is really a great way that our school has stepped forward, saying, "Look, this is a great organization. What can we do to help?" And then not only putting that word out and getting these kids involved, which is important to the growth of any organization, getting kids, young people involved, but also helping give them an opportunity to have a location to do it. They have the tools to do it. They have the things that they're going to need to do it right there as part of our construction trades program. And these youngsters, these students, are getting an education at the same time. What a win-win.
Oh, it's amazing. And the students, we would love to have students as part of our volunteer team. If they would like to join us at our community meetings, we can use their help in so many different ways as far as, drives in the community for the bedding, for tools, and so forth. I do want to tell a great story that also came out of that with the high school. Is one of the young ladies who helped with the build came to me afterwards and said, I would really like to get more involved in this. She said, I am a part of 4-H. Well, the Lake Spring 4-H just donated to us a whole host of tools that we need as a chapter. Every chapter has
Right.
to purchase their own tools.
Wow.
And they have just donated probably half of, maybe even more than half of the tools that we need for our chapter. And we are just so grateful for that.
Well, we mentioned donations. We mentioned monetary donations, but
Yep.
you take other donations as well.
Absolutely.
Obviously, with the tools.
Absolutely.
Is there other things that Sleep in Heavenly Peace may need donations of?
Yes. So bedding is always needed for that. So again, it needs to be all new for twin beds. So child gets either a twin bed or a bunk, depending on how many children in the household need help. And brand new. So we always purchase the mattresses ourselves for Sleep in Heavenly Peace because they have to be a certain specification for
Sure.
safety.
Sure.
But new sheets, pillows, blankets, quilts are always, always welcome. And again, Riverways is accepting donations for everything, bedding, monetary donations, and tools. And I also want to give another shout out to Riverways because they early on got involved in this process. And one of the things that organization does that I was very impressed with is they let their employees vote on what their community project will be every year. So early in the year, the employees of Riverways voted that Sleep in Heavenly Peace would be their community project. So not only do they help take donations from the public, but when they have Jeans Days, for instance, each employee donates their money to wear jeans that day to Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And just the support we've gotten from them has just been terrific.
That is incredible. And we want to thank Riverways Federal Credit Union for being that local support hub for Sleep in Heavenly Peace because you can't be everywhere. And
That's
obviously you do a lot of traveling, and I know you've come and go, and you go over the applications. I mean, you do probably the bulk of the work right now, but you're still looking for more people to get involved. You mentioned January 6th, I believe.
January 6th.
Okay, at 5:30 at the Salem Community Center at the Armory. It'll be in the Rotary Room, right?
Yep.
You still meet in the Rotary Room?
In the Rotary Room.
Okay. And anybody, whether you know anything about Sleep in Heavenly Peace or not, or maybe you just heard something here saying, man, I want to find out more about them, show up and find out about Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Doesn't cost you a thing. You can just stop in, and if you just need a little time to process everything that Patty's talking about, which is quite a bit. You know, when she first presented this to us, I know I had no idea it was this involved, and this takes a lot more than one person to do. You have to have a very good support group, and you have been a tremendous help from the Rolla chapter coming to get the Salem chapter started. But there's still a lot of people, not only in Dent County, that still need help, but even the surrounding counties. We're not looking to have this just stop at Phelps and Dent County. You'd like to see this expand. So if somebody, say in Reynolds County or Iron County, needs help, can they apply through the Dent County Sleep in Heavenly Peace?
Not yet.
Not yet.
And we've actually had requests to do that.
Okay.
We want to make sure that we've got ourselves up and running, and it's a smooth process. We're getting there, and then we will open it up to other communities as well to cover them because there are some counties close by to us that are not covered right now.
Okay, so, and I know that somebody's going to ask that question. That's why I did.
Absolutely.
Because if it is a growing organization, obviously you want to be able to serve every child, and it doesn't matter where they live. You really like to get it done, but there are restrictions, and with a 501c3, you have to follow certain protocol, and I totally get that. But I wanted to ask that question because I'm sure people out there don't know about it, or if they're hearing about it for the first time, say, yeah, I know this person in Viburnum or Bunker or over in Reynolds that really could use this help. Not yet. And as Patty said, not yet.
Right.
Yet. So be patient, right?
Exactly.
And they're working towards that. So I want to talk a little bit about your display at the Trees and Trains.
Sure.
Okay. It's a beautiful display. For those who have not been there yet, or maybe if you've been through there and you might have seen the display and just didn't understand all of it while you were there, there's this nice bunk bed and a nice little area that sits right by the bunk bed with a light and a little chair and a train on the ground. It's really is pretty cool. Explain how that idea for the Trees and Trains came about and the people responsible for it, if you would.
I would love to. So Lindsay Case, who is our co-president with me, who's just been phenomenal. So it was Lindsay's idea. And so she went up to the Trees and Trains folks before the exhibit, of course, ever opened, explained what we are, what Sleep in Heavenly Peace does, and said, is there any way that we could have a display here? And so Trees and Trains agreed to that, which was wonderful because we're so happy to be a part of it. So we have a display. We have one of the bunk beds there that is the same bunk bed that we deliver to the children. And when you see it, you will see what those children actually receive. Mm-hmm. So there are beautiful Christmas quilts on that bed that were made by Terry Welch of Quilter's Journey. And, of course, everything on there is new for the kids, the pillows. And there's actually a Sleep in Heavenly Peace pillow with our logo on it that was designed by Anjanette Prevet, who is our build manager for our chapter. So the three of them had that vision to be able to do the display at Trees and Trains. And we just want to thank Trees and Trains for the opportunity. And if anyone has questions as they see it, Stan and I were talking, we actually don't have an explanation of what Sleep in Heavenly Peace is. So we need to add that. But in the meantime, if anyone asks you what it is, hopefully now you can explain.
Right. And the reason I bring this display out is very inviting to where you actually want to sit in that chair and just it's homey. I don't know whether if you had a fireplace with a roaring fire right there and a book, I think everybody just sit down, just kind of put their feet up and enjoy it, because it's so well done, and it's so true how the beds actually make a home.
Yes.
And for these kids, it makes a house into a home. They now feel they now get that rest, they now get that comfort and that security that you get with a good night's sleep. Can't imagine not having that. I never had to go through that as a child, I'm trying to picture that, how that would have affected my life.
Yes.
Growing up without having a bed.
Mm-hmm.
Now there were times when I was a young guy that I wanted to sleep on an army cot for whatever reason instead of my twin bed, but I would get in there and they would tuck me in and they'd wrap those sheets on me so tight as a little kid you can't really get out. And that might have been part of the reason why they did it too. But there was still not the having to face that every day, that going to sleep at night, and maybe you have an old worn out pillow and that's all you might even have, and it might be falling apart, or even a stuffed animal that you use for a pillow. A lot of these kids, every one of them is different.
Yes.
And I wanted to bring that out to you because these beds are built to specifications. They don't change.
Right.
But those children and where they come from and the situations they're in, that's all different, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But one thing that is consistent in all of them is the appreciation and the excitement to have their own bed. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to imagine sometimes that these kids are sleeping on the floor, and they'll show us, they'll say, those are the pile of clothes that I sleep on every night, and I'm so excited to have my own bed. We did one delivery where I went up and knocked on the door, I had the team ready, and the door was opened by a little girl, and she had drawn us a thank you card. And I have to tell you, it was one of the most amazing deliveries that I've done. It meant so much to this little girl to have a bed, and it was just a wonderful experience. And every single delivery is that appreciation.
How
And-
warm do you feel after that?
Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. Some of these, the kids just about bring you to tears, and you're holding yourself together just because they're
And
so
sometimes
happy.
you can't hold yourself together.
Yeah.
It really is amazing when you see people, and I think a lot of us who have been blessed with a warm bed at night, good hot meal, and everything that goes with it, don't realize what people who don't have that go through.
Yes.
And then when they get it, and it's not so much the adults you worry about. The adults can fight for themselves. It's the kids. Kids didn't ask to be put in that situation.
Right.
They're just being brought up in it, and it's not their fault. But boy, it sure is nice to get a little helping hand and say, yeah, this is our future. We don't need our future fighting to survive. We need our future comfortable, strong, and becoming much more vibrant in our future, and not withdrawing from our future. And I love what Sleep in Heavenly Peace does. They give those kids that opportunity to develop the right way.
Yeah. And it's the real deal.
And it's the
You
real
know,
deal.
The bed is free, and you get everything new, and it really is the real deal.
Okay, so we've got a lot of that background taken care of. In the future, what is Sleep in Heavenly Peace looking to do? You've got some great ties already. High school, fantastic. A lot of people in the community know about you, but a lot of people don't.
Right?
And we're still trying to spread that word. So if you'd like to be a part of that next community meeting at the Armory, January 6th, make plans. If you can't make it to that one, the next first Monday of the month is usually your normal day. You've had a couple of days that had to be bumped due to obviously some conflicts.
Right.
It does happen. And that will be announced. But we like to put out there when those meetings are going to be here on KSMO and in your world today. So you can pick one of those up if you're not sure when the next meeting will be.
Yep.
And if you want to find out more about Sleep in Heavenly Peace, I mean, this is one, you were talking basically the Rolla chapter, now becoming the Salem and Dane County chapter. Maybe I should say Phelps County chapter, might be more appropriate, right? But nonetheless, these chapters continue to grow.
Absolutely.
And if you want to be a part of that growth, get in touch with Patty. Is there a way people can apply to volunteer on the website?
So we have a Facebook page.
Okay.
With that, and you can certainly leave a message on there.
Okay. Facebook Messenger.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It is monitored every day by Heather Kunkel, who is our media manager. And so
The
please-
media mogul is what she is.
She is a media mogul.
Okay.
And we would love everyone's help either to volunteer and join us. If there is an entity, a church, or a business that wants to sponsor a community bed build, we would
Okay.
love that. Town and Country Bank actually sponsored the and paid for the lumber for the kids at the high school.
Okay.
To do
So
their
the
bed
construction
build.
trades program.
Yep, absolutely. And of course, donations, are always welcome. We so much appreciate that. But Sleep in Heavenly Peace is really about community.
It is.
And they want to do community bed builds. No experience necessary at all. Each one of us has been trained by Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and we will share that training with anyone who wants to come and volunteer. First Baptist Church is another one who had a huge bed build. We expected 30 people. We had over 60 people who came to that. And they have continued to just support us in every way. So we so much appreciate what everyone in the community has done. And we need everyone's help to
Right.
keep going.
If your church or organization would like to become part of the Sleep in Heavenly Peace family, because it truly is a family. They work with
Absolutely.
each other to get things done. We're already talking about the construction trades program at the school, Town and Country Bank, in churches. They're all out there, and all of them need a little help in not only promoting this great program, but also financially in getting those supplies there to help Patty and her group do what they do. And I'm telling you what, they do a good job of what you guys do. You might do it maybe under the radar a little bit still, but I think you're getting there to where I think Sleep in Heavenly Peace is going to be a major component of our communities, not just here in Salem, not just in Rolla, but you mentioned 18 different communities or counties in the state of Missouri. But it's growing.
18 chapters.
18.
So it's more-
18 chapters.
Yeah,
so
I'm not even
they're
sure
all
how many
county
counties.
chapters, are
Yes.
they not?
So no, it could be multiple counties, like Rolla doing 6 counties.
Okay.
And so yeah, so now that we've broken off to our own, I think Rolla is looking who else can we help, and so all of the chapters are in that manner.
So how do you qualify to take on a new area? Somewhere down the road, obviously, it's got to be a future plan. You just can't
Right.
tomorrow come out and Patty just come to mind. Hey, I want to go here.
Right.
You know, there has to be
Absolutely.
a lot of groundwork laid, right?
There is a lot of groundwork laid, and there's actually information on the website that will tell you what you need to do if you want to start a chapter. I was very lucky because I was part of the Rolla chapter, and I cannot say enough about Beth Ayers and Beth is the chapter president, and the other volunteers who have helped us, trained us, supported us, been at events with us, and so we were very lucky. One of the things that is required that we had to do before we could be an official chapter
Okay.
is the president has to attend training in Utah with Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And that is an intensive weekend of building beds, understanding all the processes. There are policies, procedures, protocols. It's a very organized organization, and really everything is well done there, and everybody, all volunteers, everybody's got that spirit and passion.
When you first elected to do this, obviously, were you overwhelmed at first when you found out you had to do all these different things?
It was
I mean, it was kind of maybe
yeah.
more than you expected, but once you got into it, you weren't going to turn back.
no way.
You know, but when you first heard, okay, well, we want to have you, but you're going to have to do this, and this. Like, huh?
I was actually very hesitant to even start
I see.
working towards a chapter.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dr. Bernie Sarah, our local chiropractor,
Okay.
was a huge supporter who really is the one who pushed me and said, do it. Start a chapter here. Get a community meeting going. And so, thank you to Dr. Sarah, because I don't think I would have kept going with it.
So let's talk about how did we become the 18th Missouri chapter. I mean, what did you have to do to show them that we qualify as a chapter or that we are legitimate and should be a chapter? I know you did this since October of 2022. Long time. That's a lot of work. And then hope that you get chosen. You may not have gotten chosen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a possibility. But tell us a little bit about because you just mentioned when I'm talking about the people out there, a little hesitant about doing this because it's a lot of work. You just can't be intimidated by it, can you?
You can't be intimidated. And part of my challenge was I was fairly new here in Salem and Dent County. My husband grew up here. I did not. So I didn't know a lot of people. So,
It only takes about 45 years to get.
yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
So as
your
I met-
husband is
yeah.
you're in.
Yeah,
You're
so
local.
as I met people, everyone wanted to help. So Roberts Judson's donated the lumber for the first bunk bed we ever delivered. And they didn't know about Sleep in Heavenly
No.
Peace. Brian Snyder,
Brandon.
he and the
Brandon.
team, Brandon, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Brandon has just been phenomenal. He and his team have helped us. Every single, entity and person along the way has really contributed to this. And Brandon has helped us with every single bed build that we have done.
So when you told your husband you're going to be going to Utah for this training, I mean, what was he kind of shocked that you had to actually leave Phelps County or this area to go and get this intense training?
Yeah,
that you
I think
mentioned?
everybody's surprised.
Yeah.
Sleep in Heavenly Peace, actually, they pay for the presidents to come out there and, for a certain part of it. And they are absolutely committed to do this, but you cannot lead a chapter unless you go to that training and complete it. And before that training, there is a very intensive study protocol that you have to go through. And it took a lot of hours, almost a full week, to get through that training before I went to the training in Utah.
I see.
And Lindsay Case, as co-president, had to do the exact same
Sure.
training.
So it is a commitment.
Absolutely.
You know, you just can't sit there and say, yeah, I'd like to help, but only on my time. I mean, it's a commitment. And when you start to see the effect you have on children, I
Yes.
mean, you're not going to want to sit there and do it. I'll do it on my time. You're going to want to do it all the time because you can't. How do you replace a smile on a kid's face?
You can't.
Or that joy you see in their eyes. How do you replace that? How do you even try and describe it? You know, you can't. You know, that enlightenment that you watch in a child's face. What is more pure than that?
Yeah. No, it's great.
I don't know what it might be. Maybe
Yeah.
snow on a field. I mean, that's pure white. That looks good. But that when a child smiles and their eyes glisten and that face that you just sit there and you almost can't bear to not. You have to almost turn away because you're gonna cry when you see these kids. The exuberance that comes out of them
Absolutely.
when they get this bed, and it's a fantastic program. Patty, let's all right. How can we help? What can we do to help Sleep in Heavenly Peace?
Absolutely. So we welcome and would love to have more volunteers. And in addition to everything that we've talked about, if you want to volunteer to come help deliver beds, we'll train you to do that. You're always with a team of people who've done that previously. So we would love the help there. Monetary donations, of course, are always
Sure.
appreciated. Bedding. We still need some new tools. So on our
Okay.
Facebook page, there's a list, and you can see what's been donated and what we need, and we've put estimated pricing on there.
Is it Sleep in Heavenly Peace Facebook or is it SLP? So if somebody has never been on Facebook or has not befriended you yet,
Yep.
may not be able to find you.
So you go to Facebook, and then it's facebook.com/SHP Dent County.
Okay.
And that'll get you to our Facebook page.
See, all these little things you have to remember.
Right.
And it's true. It's just not obvious. You go to Facebook if you don't know it's SHP. You may not
Yes.
find Sleep in Heavenly Peace, or you may get a different chapter.
Yes. Yes. You want to be on Dent County.
Yeah. There you go.
Absolutely. For sure.
Okay, SHP when you go to your Facebook page, and then Dent County is the key. You definitely want to come
Absolutely.
here.
Yep.
You know, okay, so monetary donations, 501c3, which means they are tax deductible. And if you get them in before December 31st, they're tax deductible in the year 2024. How
Yes.
about that? So there's your accounting part. We'll leave that. But also, if you make your tool donations, remember there's a value to those tools.
Absolutely.
And they can give you an estimate value, and then you can take that and you also deduct that from your taxes. And again, the timing by December 31st, 2024. And if you want to donate mattresses, sheets, pillows, pillowcases, quilts, whatever it might be,
Yes.
feel free to donate that as well. And of course, we always talk about the donation of your time. If you can afford some time to help out, yes, you've got a great construction trades program at our high school, and yes, that's a great working relationship, but that's not every day and every week of the year.
Right.
You know, you're going to need people besides that to help out. If you'd like to be a part of it, we highly recommend you get in touch with Patty. Sit down with, if you're not quite sure you want to do it, sit down with Patty and ask all the questions you want. She will give you all the time you need to feel comfortable in your decision.
Absolutely.
You know, she has been more than willing to sit down with us and explain to us just what Sleep in Heavenly Peace was. And then once she got started, I'm telling you what, you weren't going to get her out. You really are proud of this organization and what they do, and it shows in the work that you do. And again, we want to tip our cap to the extra effort you've put in. Lindsay case as well. We don't want to really eliminate anybody in the Sleep in Heavenly Peace family that's serving Dent
Absolutely.
County, because it takes everybody.
I've got a
doesn't it?
whole team that's
Yeah. And we really like to. And do you have anybody else that you'd like to thank? Because it does take a community to make this happen, does it?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, in thanking everyone, you know, the folks that we've mentioned so far, some people, you know, and organizations early on helped us. So in addition to Robert Judson's, Walmart, when they had their grand reopening, gave us a community grant, which was great. We got a grant from the City of Salem Support Fund. The Rotary has donated to us. So all of those, we are just so grateful. And I also want to thank Stan and KSMO.
thank
I
you.
want to thank the Salem News, who has given us several front page articles that have just been phenomenal to help get the word out. It's just been great. The chamber, under Emily's leadership, we just appreciate everybody in this community who has helped us, and the door is open for more who would like to join us.
Well, the community supports you and appreciates you because it takes that driving force. And I know you might have felt like you were on an island when you first came over here trying to get things going. And it sometimes it's a war sometimes to try and get people to understand it and let them give you the time so you can actually explain what this is all about.
Yeah.
Because it was new and people didn't understand it. And many people may still not understand it. So I hope you have an opportunity, first off, to go Trees and Trains. Just go take a look at that beautiful bunk bed. And you're going to get an idea that if you know of anybody that's ever had to sleep on the floor, or any child that any time has had to sleep without the benefit of a mattress and a pillow and a blanket, and then you see this beautiful bunk bed, that they're going to be elevated off that floor. They're going to be comfortable. They're going to get a good night's sleep, and they're going to feel secure. There is no words that can describe that feeling. Be a part of this. It's a great organization, Sleep in Heavenly Peace. It's for the future of our country, for the future of these families. And Patty, and I know you have really gone above and beyond, and I want to personally thank you for all the great contributions you have done, but also the Sleep in Heavenly Peace family for all the great work that you've already helping out with a number of families in Denton County. I know you've got many more that you want to serve, so I know that we're just scratching the surface, but still it has to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
And once you get it started, let's be like a snowball going downhill. Let's just pick up the momentum and get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's what we hope for you in the future. Again, want to thank Patty McEwen for coming in, spending some time with us. Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Why don't you give that Facebook address again so people can go there.
Facebook.com/SHP Dent County.
Okay. So you can also message them through Facebook if you have a question or two. If you have a family, you can go to there and you can actually make that recommendation. Can you not?
Absolutely. And if you know of someone, and again, anyone can apply for the bed, shpbeds.org, and then it'll be routed back to us via zip code.
Remember, if you want to make a donation, please put the term Dent County on the check. Or if you're making a tool donation, obviously you probably want to get in touch with Patty, and then you can get that done
Or you
directly.
can just drop them at Riverways.
Or drop them at Riverways and tell them it's for Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
Absolutely.
And that can be with the sheets. If you got mattresses, you probably just don't want to go dump them in the front of the bank.
Well, the mattresses, yeah, so we order those ourselves, but the other bedding.
Right. But if somebody wanted to donate a
absolutely.
bunch of mattresses
Absolutely.
that are brand new.
And
you
we've
know,
had many to do that. Town and Country Bank,
Right.
First Baptist Church. So many organizations have purchased mattresses through us and donated them, which has been really wonderful.
Right. And if you are going to donate a mattress, it does need to fit the exact specifications. So just don't go buy a twin-size mattress somewhere and
Right.
hope it's going to fit. It needs to fit the bedding specifications that they have when they construct the beds.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I can just see like 50 mattresses inside River. It could be a lot of fun, but it could be a little bit different. But we really appreciate that. Again, your help is needed. It's always needed. And it's not just for this individual program, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, for one day or 1 week or 1 year. The bed builds are great, but from now on, why don't you be a part of a great organization? And again, get in touch with Patty. How can somebody get in touch with you directly if they have questions?
Sure. So my email address is Patty, P-A-T-T-I, .McEwen, M-C-K-E-O-W-N, at shpbeds.org. And my phone number is 703-964-6495.
Patty, thank you so much.
Thank
we
you,
wish you
Stan.
and yours a very, very Merry Christmas.
And you as
and
well.
the happiest of New Years and a very eventful New Year for Sleep in Heavenly Peace, because I know that would make you very, very happy.
Be terrific.
Fantastic. Patty, thank you again for your
Thank
time.
you, Stan.
Right here on KSMO Media at 1340 AM, 95.7 FM. And we're streaming it on KSMORadio.com, KSMO Stream Facebook, and KSMO YouTube. Stick around. AP News is coming up in